Hey there! After a nuclear catastrophe, people took shelter in fortresses. In one of them, a monster strikes every night, slaughtering residents. The Lord is powerless, but a warrior arrives, capable of defeating the beast. The movie kicks off showing an army storming the fortress at night. Their commander just watches his men. Inside the castle, though, the vibe is different. The warriors are gearing up to face the monster. Under the command of their lord, Hrothgar, there's also his daughter Kyra, who's itching to fight. But her father and the captain of the guard, Roland, order her to stay hidden, knowing she'd be killed in a heartbeat. Another girl named Pendra is sobbing on the floor in terror, as countless soldiers have been dying night after night at the monster's claws. The Lord is ready to take on the beast himself, but it has other plans. Kendra tries to escape the castle, but she's caught by the besieging soldiers, who plan to execute her. They're convinced everyone inside the fortress is tainted by a demon. The commander claims they're simply freeing the girl from evil and prepares to give the order for her execution. Just as everyone awaits the execution, a lone rider strides into the camp, looking like a Highlander dressed as a witcher. It's Beowulf. He demands they release the girl, but the commander is certain she's corrupted by evil and signals the executioner. Beowulf, however, throws a wrench in their plans. The massive army charges at the rider. His crossbow bolts take down the first soldiers. His blade and long legs dispatch the next, and he strikes the toughest fighter with chains tipped with razor-sharp blades. The rider does a flip, freeing the captive with a combo of strikes and cold steel, helping himself with some kicks too, because, you know, everyone's got those moves in their time. Beowulf scatters enemies left and right until the army's leader realizes he's just losing men and orders a halt. He allows the rider to take the girl and leave. On the road, Kendra tells Beowulf that the monster comes every night, killing dozens of people. Watching them, the master weaponsmith and his assistant Will are shocked that the army let the girl and rider go alive. Still, Kendra flees from Beowulf. Scared to return to the castle, she runs back, only to be killed instantly by the enemy soldiers. Beowulf asks to be let into the fortress. The guards reluctantly open the gates without their commander's orders, hoping for help against the monster, believing one warrior can do what hundreds couldn't. Through a castle window, he sees a worried Kyra. Hrothgar welcomes Beowulf, who explains he sensed evil in this place and came to fight it. Roland is wary of the stranger, but the Lord laments they're down to just 40 soldiers, and a new fighter is desperately needed. Hrothgar orders Will to show the guest to his room. On the way, the kid admits he's a lousy weaponsmith compared to his grandfather. Will shares that Pendra was married to Kyra, but died in an accident. The kid starts messing around with weapons at the guest's place, but Kyra walks in, and Beowulf stares at her. Well, you get the idea. Kyra is convinced the fighter was sent by Pendra's clan to avenge his death. She claims her husband died accidentally while practicing swordplay, though she was the one who killed him. Kyra also says no one has even scratched the monster, but Beowulf declares he'll kill it because instead of starring in Mortal Kombat 2, he showed up in this wild movie, so he's not about to flop. Later, Beowulf watches Roland train soldiers for the monster fight, though the fighters could probably just take it down themselves by now. The Lord invites the guest to dinner. When asked about his wife, Hrothgar says she took her own life years ago, accidentally falling from a bridge at night. When Kyra asks about Beowulf's family, he says he never started one to avoid spawning more like him. He confirms her guess that he's trying to prove his own uniqueness and awesomeness. At the other end of the fortress, the master weaponsmith tries to light a torch, but he's the one who gets lit up. The monster attacks and finishes him off. Meanwhile, Roland reminisces about the good old days, but Beowulf cuts him off, sensing evil nearby. A soldier bursts in, shouting that the master weaponsmith is dead. Seeing the body, Roland notes the monster has never killed this early. Will sobs, learning of his master's death. Outside, Kyra asks Beowulf who he really is, but he just says he's an unmatched warrior from the outside world.
Sorry.
When Kyra leaves, Roland shows up, insanely jealous of her interest in the guest, and challenges him to a duel. Unarmed, Beowulf easily beats the captain of the guard who's wielding a dagger. Humiliated, the guy slinks off to sulk. As Hrothgar sleeps in his chambers, a half-naked woman enters, climbs on top of him, and does something interesting. While the beauty gets it on with the Lord, he dreams of his dead wife and a pregnant woman. He wakes up aroused, but no one's there. When Will enters the armory, he sees the monster devouring Carl. And who even is this Carl? Nobody cares. And Will faints. Beowulf snaps him out of it. Hrothgar is shocked by the daytime attack and orders the women and children to hide in the citadel. Kyra refuses to go with the others. She's ready to fight, while Beowulf preps his entire arsenal for the decisive battle. A knight announces over the loudspeaker that the evacuation was a success, but soon screams echo from where the people were. Horror, moans, and pain. Beowulf climbs to a citadel window and sees the monster has already wiped out all the civilians. Heading to the throne room, Beowulf dodges a monster attack. The beast strikes suddenly, taking out guards one by one. Beowulf's crossbow shots miss, and his sharp blades bounce off the monster's jacked hide. Beowulf hits the floor, Roland follows, and Kyra's spear, as usual, stabs nothing but air. Beowulf stops the beast with a chain and leaps onto its neck, but the monster counters, badly wounding him. Hrothgar boldly attacks with a massive sword, ordering it to fight, but the monster refuses to battle its father and vanishes, leaving Beowulf unconscious. Kyra tends to Beowulf's wounds while Roland waits outside. She tells him Beowulf is dying. The captain confesses he's always dreamed of being with Kyra. She says she knows, and Roland realizes he's got no shot. That night, Kyra falls asleep next to the dying Beowulf. Meanwhile, the mysterious beauty returns to Hrothgar and hooks up with him again. He dreams the same dream, but this time the pregnant woman tells his wife, "Your husband fathered this life." In the morning, Kyra is stunned to see Beowulf on his feet. His wounds nearly healed. He quips that he's pretty tough to kill. The warrior heads to Will and asks him to craft a new weapon to slay the monster. While Beowulf eats in the dining hall, a wounded Roland approaches. Impressed by the guests fighting, the captain spills the truth about Pendra. The man came from a wealthy family and Hrothgar arranged the marriage. Kyra had no say. Pendra was a sadist and a creep who constantly beat his wife. Roland also confesses his unrequited love for Kyra. Later, Beowulf picks up the new weapon and heads back, but Kyra stops him. She reveals that one night, a drunk Pendra got rough with her and beat her badly. Unable to take it anymore, she stabbed him to death before he could say a word. She's convinced Pendra's spirit has returned for revenge. Beowulf waits for the monster in a water-filled hall to hear its steps, but the beast is too fast. Beowulf hits the floor multiple times as the monster tosses him around, then lifts him to finish him off. But Beowulf pulls out his new weapon, stabs it into the creature's gut several times, and slices off its arm. The warrior brings the trophy to Lord Hrothgar and sends the soldiers for wine to celebrate the victory. The army besieging the castle, seeing the fortress folk defeated the monster despite accusing them of being tainted, decides to lift the siege and leave. Kyra visits Beowulf's room, confesses she's fallen for him, and they party so hard the whole castle hears it. Meanwhile, a drunk Roland, pining for his unrequited love, leaves the banquet and meets the only girl trying to seduce him. At first, he resists, but soon gives in to her charms, and they hook up right on the street. Beowulf admits to Kyra that his mother was an ordinary woman, but his father was Baal, the Lord of Darkness. For him, the only way to avoid becoming evil is to fight humans or kill monsters. Sensing evil in the castle again, Beowulf begs Kyra not to go to her father. Kyra finds Hrothgar and they head to the banquet hall. There, they find everyone dead. The mysterious woman appears and reveals she was Hrothgar's lover. Years ago, when he and his troops seized the fortress, she came to him one night and they made love all night long. His wife, learning of the affair, took her own life. It wasn't an accident. The beauty confesses that the monster in the castle is their son, Grendel. She also reveals she lived here long before the fortress was built, and now her heir, her son, is reclaiming what's his by right. The monster reappears, kills Hrothgar, and throws Kyra aside. Beowulf swoops in epically and finishes the monster with his long sword. The woman gazes indifferently at her dead son and asks Beowulf who his parents are, but he replies they're stronger than her. She tries to seduce him, but he resists her charms. Enraged, the woman transforms into her true demonic form. Beowulf uses every trick to dodge the massive demon, but it still catches up to him. He wounds the creature and leaps down as the demon prepares to tear him apart. Grabbing his sword, Beowulf slashes its throat. The demon's blood draws flames and it explodes, setting everything ablaze. Beowulf grabs Kyra and they escape the castle on horseback. Beowulf says he wouldn't mind a girl like Kyra traveling with him. The two set off on a new adventure together. So, Beowulf, 1999, is a gritty sci-fi fantasy with a post-apocalyptic vibe that keeps you on edge. In my opinion, it's worth a one-time watch. It hooks you with its unique atmosphere and bold take on dragging an ancient saga into a futuristic world. The pros: awesome action and a dark, moody setting. The cons: some shaky acting and a plot that feels patchy at times. If you're into unconventional takes on classic tales, give it a shot. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments.